Hey friends, today I want to tackle the question, is it worth it to pursue marriage if there's so many Christian marriages failing? That's something that probably if you're single, you may have wrestled with in your own mind. There are a lot of Christians that have gotten divorced, that there's been abuse and just bad situations in marriages, and it's not exempt from the Christian community. So is it worth it to pursue marriage? I do believe marriage is still worth pursuing. And it's been a process of God working on my heart, helping me to be open to the possibility of being married again. Because, of course, I do have a lot of fears. Like, I don't want to get divorced again. I don't want to have a repeat of what has happened in my past. And so there's definitely been fear there. I do believe beautiful marriages are possible when two people are committed to serving Christ first and foremost, and then serving each other second. I look at my parents' marriage, and their marriage has given me hope so many times because I look at them and I see my dad. He's a wonderful leader, wonderful way he loves and supports my mom. And I'm like, that's possible out there because I see it in my dad, and I'm so thankful for his example. So there are godly marriages out there. I do think that they take a lot more work, a lot more time. And on the dating end of things, it takes a lot of cautiousness and carefulness, which many people don't want to be patient about and don't want to wait for and don't want to prepare and plan for. But even with that, you can do everything right and still have something not turn out well. I mean, I felt like in my first marriage, we did a lot of things really right. We both were Christians. We met at a Bible school. We saved sex till marriage. We didn't even kiss till we got engaged. We did premarital counseling. We had godly influences in our life. And yet my marriage ended in divorce. And yet I still have hope that in the future I could meet somebody and have a great godly marriage. There's risks in everything. There's risk in marriage. There's a risk that the person you marry will change. There's a risk that things will go sideways. But there's a risk in a lot of things. There's a risk that I could get cancer. There's a risk that tomorrow when I drive to church, I could get in a car accident. But that's not stopping me from living life. And a lot of times I think when we fear what ifs, when we fear what if I get married and it ends in divorce? What if I marry the wrong person? All these kind of thoughts that can go in our mind. We're envisioning a future apart from the presence of God. And that is not a future that is ever going to happen for us as believers in Christ. Whatever happens in our life, no matter how difficult, no matter how hard, no matter how big of mistakes we make, God's presence is always with us, and he will give us the strength to walk through that. Now, does that mean that we just walk blindly into a relationship and be like, okay, like God's gonna be with me, it'll be fine? Like, no, like we do our own work and we do our own part the best we can, prayerfully as we go into the dating process. But I do want you to know that whatever happens in life, God's going to be with you. And I've seen that in my own life. Like, God's been with me. He was with me every step of the way. And in fact, my divorce was the most instrumental thing in my life up to this point. I'm 33, that God has used to draw me to himself and to help me be grounded in my purpose and my calling in life. And so I really wouldn't change my past. I mean, of course, I wish that I was still married and that marriage worked out, but God brought so much goodness out of it, if that makes sense. Now, I do want to give just a word of caution to women that are watching this video that have fear about marriage, and maybe part of the reason they have that fear is because they have friends who've had really difficult marriages or gone through divorce, or they've seen friends dating with a guy that they thought was great and then it like turned out terrible. There can be this tendency to have bitterness towards men in general, and just to start thinking like all men are just terrible, immature people. And I can understand those feelings, but we have to submit our feelings to Christ and realize that men, just like women, are made in the image of God. I mean, we're all sinful beings, both men and women. We all have strengths and weaknesses. And if you're struggling with like not hate towards men, but just kind of bitterness towards men in general, like a hard heart. I've been there. I have been there on my journey. Pray about that and say, God, help me to have a love for men, to see them as you see them, and to pray for men in general, and pray that men would rise up and be leaders. Going back to dating, and this is something I will elaborate more on in a future video, so I'd love to have you subscribe if you haven't already, because the next video I'm going to go into detail more about this. But this is something that is so important. If you want different results than what you see going on in the culture when it comes to dating and marriage, then you have to do something differently in dating. And I'll even go even farther than that and say, if you want different results, then you're going to have to do something drastically different. It's going to take time, patience, and work, okay? The way the world does dating is that it's like this pastime. It's like this hobby. It's like this fun thing, and you just date people and you date people, and you know, hopefully you'll meet somebody. And I think that dating should be more, and I know that if you're like in your young 20s, you're gonna be like, are you serious, Molly? This is so much easier for me to say when I've been married before and I'm in my 30s, but please listen to me. I really believe that dating should be seen more as a job search. I heard someone mention that analogy, and I think it's really great, because in a job search, you, like a person hiring, sorry, I'm saying like when someone's hiring someone, they have specific credentials and characteristics that they are looking for in a person. And how do they decide who is that person, the best person to fill that job? Well, they have interviews, and they have specific questions that they ask a person. And I've actually done a video about questions you should ask a guy when you start dating. I'm pretty sure I did a video on that. I'll link that here. But we've got to change things. It's not about all fun and games and having a good old time. It's going to take work, and it's going to take discipline to say, nope, real quickly, that guy is not for me, and I'm not going to pursue anything more than that. It's going to take possibly long periods of singleness and feeling lonely. But I'm going to help you and equip you with some tools and some ideas for in that season of singleness. I'm really excited for that video, but I just want to share that. Now I'm going to share with you guys specifically my heart for what I envision in the future, like if I would get married. And I've thought about this, that if I ever got married again, I would only want to get married if the person I met was someone that made it possible for me to serve God just as well, if not even better than I'm serving God now, where we could complement each other in such a way that we are serving God together in a much better way. And I have had I don't know, what's the word? Nervousness about not wanting to give up, in a sense, like the freedom that I have as a single person, and not wanting to get married and feel like squashed as a woman, if that makes sense. You know, if you're a strong woman, you get what I'm talking about. But I really truly believe that if you meet the right man, you're not going to be squashed. It's going to be this mutual beneficial relationship where you're supporting and encouraging each other. You're helping each other. You're supporting each other in your goals, and serving each other. I do believe that there are godly men out there, but I believe they are fewer and far between, but they are out there, that God has created men that are godly leaders. And we as women need to be patient and wait and be in prayer, and be preparing our own selves, living in such a way so that we do attract a man like that if God brings that kind of person in our life. So that's what I have to share with you guys today. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in my next video. All right, talk to you later.